and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for June 26, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern, Friday. We're often reminded, and it's a reinforcing it is the God within who communicates with us. And it is our pure consciousness. So, and the universe delivers different information. And we're often reminded that, people, those of us who go through physical challenges, the first thing that happens is that fear sets in. And none of us are exempt from it. But fear sets in, and understand how it works is that the ego mind is in charge, or the fear would not be there. So the fear comes in as a thought, and then we embrace it and create it into reality, and then it cascades from there. So the fear factor of worry of what's going to happen to us. How much longer are we going to stay in the body? And it builds because we then have external authority that plays a role, because we are so conditioned to external authority that out of fear, when we become discombobulated with ourselves and we are not connected with our God, what happens is that the fear gets, and so we all know the ego is not satisfied ever. So it continues to instigate fear and then expands. We do know that in most cases, the stemming of dis-ease in the body, its beginning, is caused by emotion, which is very powerful energy, frequency, that we all have, that we all are. And this is the heart-mind. But unfortunately, the majority of the population do not understand that the heart-mind is the true power over the ego-mind. It's much more powerful. But when you don't know that, what happens is that the ego-mind dictates to the heart-mind, and therefore the heart-mind accentuates the emotion, and the wave effect takes place within the body. And what is the wave effect? The wave effect is literally a cascading frequency and energy in various levels, and usually low frequency, cascades throughout the body, head to toe, inside and out. And what this cascading effect does is it causes anomalies such as cancer and other inflictions or attachments come into the body. And then the very thing that we don't care but we're not conscious of is to bring in additional external authority, which then feeds our fear to the extent where the dis-ease grows and it begins to expand in our bodies. Then, because we are not connected, nor have we been to our higher self, to our God, in genuineness and surrender and peace and gentleness and kindness, it begins to expand. It could be anything. It could be anything in our bodies. And the ironic thing about it is that we all, every one of us, we all have the power within us to literally dismiss all of these attempts through the ego mind and through our emotion to end up having us to be forced to leave the body. But and there have been those of us who have literally, on their own, without medication, without anything, understood this and literally eradicated whatever the invasion, whatever the frequency was that was in them. And they're perfectly healthy today. This is taking command, and believe me, I talk with a lot of people who have the cancers, who have other inflictions, diseases with their bodies. And there's a common thread. And the common thread is that the ego mind runs them. And I'm not saying that they're aware of it, but it does. And people, well, how do you know that? Because you're worried, you're stressed. Well, I should be worried, I should be stressed, I should be fearful. Why? What is it? Is it literally assisting you in a calm, peaceful, loving way? Is it helping you? No, it's not helping you. You see what happens? We're literally tricked and seduced into it by the ego mind and how we have perceived things as we have been inhabiting these bodies for however long. So we take this in, and it becomes a guidepost for us to practice it. So it's a continual misunderstanding that we are separated, from ourselves, and we're not. And that God is in the sky, which God is not. The God is within us. And so once we begin to understand all the tests, all of the special remedies, all that stuff, when we should be, or choose to be, in command of the situation that is occurring, which is a frequency, which is disharmony, and it's a low-level vibrational frequency. That's all it is. But we're trained to believe in the external world that it's the end. It's over. And then we are convinced to literally, a lot of us are convinced to go the Draco medical system and to burn our immune system and literally fry and burn the interior of the body, most cases, to be well. And why is that? Why is it that so many of the civilization go that route? Desperation. Doubt. There's no confidence with them in the God that they are. They feel abandoned. They feel lonely. They feel that they have been left out in the open with no help at all. And all the power that each of us have is amazing, because we are equipped to eliminate any disease that we have incurred through low frequency. We talk about this every meditation, and in meditation, it is us. It is us that choose. We choose to lower our vibrational frequencies. How does that happen? A lot of the times it's because of a massive emotional hit that we take. And we don't realize how deep emotionally beings that we are. So we take that hit, and it disturbs us at such a low frequency. It isn't love at all. It is a debilitating wave. It's a frequency and energy that causes our system to go way low. And when we open that window, we lower that white fire armor, those low frequencies come in, and they come in with a vengeance. It's like a kid in a candy store or a bull in a china shop. And that's what these frequencies do. And so they begin. And we know what happens. So unaware, I have seen people who lose a loved one, and after a few years of the loss, they have literally convinced themselves that they want to be with that loved one who has left the body. So then they incur a disease that causes them to leave the body so that they can be with that loved one. When it's so silly, because of the fact that we are all one, we're connected always, together forever. We're never apart. But we've been so trained in the physical world that when we leave the body, when we ascend out of the body, it's a horrible thing to leave the body. Can you imagine if when we all know, when we come to, in our own way and direction, we come to the realization that it isn't a big deal, that it isn't a catastrophic happening, that it is just, I'm leaving the body now because it cannot sustain the God within it. And the God can't sustain it because it's broken, doesn't work. So I'm going to leave it and move on from there. But and this is where we have such disruption with ourselves and how it's so impactful for us to lose loved ones, to lose anybody on this planet, because we're all affected. Every time someone leaves the body, we're all affected. It might be a little teeny bump, it might be a little teeny burst of air, but we're all affected. It doesn't matter if we know them or not, because we know that they leave the body. And so they hold God for them. And it is what we learn in these bodies. It's what we learn in this life, since they electrify out all of our memories in other lives. So it's what we learn in this life that will help us maneuver when we leave the body in a good way, in a knowledgeable way. But while we're in the body, we do have the power to move into grace, gentleness, and kindness with ourselves, to focus on ourselves, on our body, to communicate with the God within. It is amazing what takes place. But yet, we don't do that. Even those who have practiced the spirit quest, the spirit journey, and believe that I've done this, and I've healed people, and I've done all this, but you haven't healed you. We cannot practice anything until we are good inside and out with ourselves. It just doesn't work. And many people have burned themselves out doing this. If you aren't good, how is everything else that you try to help going to be good? If you aren't in love with yourself, how in the heck are you going to be in love with anybody else? If you aren't at peace with yourself, how in the heck are you going to be at peace with anyone else? If you haven't surrendered to the God within you, how in the heck are you going to interact with anybody else? If you haven't forgiven yourself, how in the heck are you going to maneuver in this life? How is it going to be for you? I'm not saying that these are bad things because people haven't embraced them. It is time, though, for this civilization to step into their own light. Literally, stepping into your own light. It's so important for each and every one of us. It's to let go of our fears and our worries and our stresses. This is just an illusion. It is no more than that. It is an illusion that we create so that we can experience in physical form, which is also a construct. We look at our physical form and we say this is real because we can pinch it and feel it and everything else. It is an illusory housing so that we can maneuver in a different frequency. That's what it is. So once we begin to understand that and harmonize the frequencies of existence, then we're able to smooth them out when they become rough. You ever look on any kind of a spectrum analyzer or a scope or graph, electronic graph, and a voice pattern recognizer, okay, where you speak and you have all of these waves on it. Or you do a DNA analyzation match, and you see these waves first, and then it comes into smoothness. This is about us. And it's about being able to go within ourselves whenever we choose and to literally walk with our God. And to have the confidence through the heart-mind that anything in this external world that occurs, we can embrace it, love it, and walk through it. Now, if we don't embrace it, love it, walk through it, and we do the opposite, which many people do, and we run, and we keep running, civilization in hopes that it will never catch us or we won't have to deal with it. We won't have to meet it face to face. And a lot of us do that. It's silly, but we do it. And instead of turning around and saying, okay, so what do we have going on here, body? What's happening with us? Okay? Well, God, what are we doing to rectify this, to eliminate it? Just like anything. But you can understand, a lot of you understand this, is that the civilization is in a delicate condition. Very much so. And the delicate condition is that those of us who are somewhat awake understand that the residual influence of a bicameral civilization is front and center and present with the majority of the population on this planet. Does not make them bad, doesn't make them weak or low frequency or anything. It's just the way it is for the civilization. Those of us who are aware understand this without judgment, okay, without ridicule, and we begin to realize that, okay, so I work on me. I work with myself. This is the addressing to ourselves. I have chosen to discover my God and to love my God and to love me, this body that I am in, and to not allow and to be consciously aware that I am of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest, eternal gratitude. I have no idea how many people I have said to who carry cancer, and I tell them, I suggest to them to surrender to the cancer. Love the cancer. Embrace it. And then walk through it. It is amazing what happens when this is genuinely embraced and decided for by themselves to move into. But unfortunately, the majority do not. They continue to cling on to the fear, the disruption, the unknown, the anger, because anger comes in, frustration, irritability, weakness, limpness. And think about this. We feed it. Depending on our emotional state of the body, depending on where we're at with our God, has a lot to do on how fast the body is gone. It's always been the way. So, in other words, let's look at it from another standpoint, because there's so much of it, and I'm right in the middle of it, and I talk with a lot of people, and it's for all of them and all of us, is that this is a self-inflicted occurrence. It's self-inflicted. It is a low frequency. When our bodies go into low frequency, our immune system is compromised. Our oxygen levels drop. This is all done through emotion. It isn't something that comes out. All of us carry the dormant cell of the cancers. All of us do. But the reason that so many more and more people are contracting this or opening it up in the body is because of the emotion, the frequency, the disruption, the emotionality of us and how we view ourselves and how we look at things. Just one thought, even if it's unconscious thought, it says, I'm tired of this life. I don't really care to be in it because we got angry at something or something happened. And how many people say, oh, I'm so tired, I just don't want to continue. And I've heard that come from young people, 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds. I've heard it come from them. I'm just sick of this life. It's not worth living. Everything's messed up. Everybody hates each other. Everybody's killing each other and murdering, raping, and pillaging. You see what happens to us? This isn't something that just occurred. It's something that's been going on with this civilization from its inception. So we have the power. All of us do. We are the power. And we are omnipotently powerful, but we don't acknowledge that. It's almost like we fear it. We fear to know how powerful we are. So the fear is created through the ego mind to stay the awareness away, to keep it away from our understanding. And this is why we become so confused in so many different situations as we travel in this body through this life. It's always been within. So I had a conversation with a sister today who is experiencing that right now. And she's all alone. And she's trying to figure out a way to stay in the body. And she doesn't have any money. So those who do are assisting her. And she has enough of faith within herself to still be in the body. Now, I can tell you that I talk with people on a monthly basis in the hundreds, all varying ages and situations that are inflicted with something. And there's a common thread there. And the common thread is, it doesn't matter if we practice spirituality and help people and healing and, did this and did that. What matters is do we love ourselves? Do we genuinely love ourselves? And not just kind of blow it off and go, oh, yes, I do. I love myself. But to deeply understand what that means that you're at peace, that you're content, that whatever you have in this right now, you're content, happy, and joyous about. That you're in deep gratitude 24/7. You remind yourself of it often, dozens of times a day. That you communicate with your body on a day-to-day basis, and the body responds, and you keep that high frequency. Because I'm telling you, and I will say this till I'm blue in the face, is that we're the ones, each of us, that determine how long we are going to stay in these bodies. That's it. It has nothing to do with externality. It really doesn't. People say, what about 5G? And what about all this other stuff? And what about the chemtrails? That's a piece of cake. It really is. And when this civilization comes full circle and realizes its true power, that's like child's play. A blink of the eye, and it's eradicated without harming anyone or anything. People say, well, yeah, but we're in the now, and that's not happening now. The reason it's not happening now is because you do not create it in the now, because you fear it. You fear things. And the only reason you fear things is because the ego mind interjects that thought through your heart mind, where it knows that you're going to embrace it and turn it into a reality. You're going to create it into reality. When we're able to identify and say that's just the thought, and you'll find that it goes away. These are just thoughts I'm having. So you embrace the thoughts, but you don't make them active. And this is how it starts with all of us. So when we aren't loving ourselves when we should be loving ourselves 24/7, it's a huge difference. And this is the point. When we see all of this, all these obstacles and stuff, and we say, why isn't the government doing this, and why isn't the government doing that, and blah 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 blah. Why aren't we doing anything? See, this is what happens in bicameral civilizations. This is why it becomes so confusing to many people, is because of the fact is that we are the kingdom. You, each of us, are the kingdom. Now, if you're a kingdom, you take responsibility for that kingdom. Isn't that true? So if that's the case, with each and every one of us on this planet, and we identify that this body is our kingdom, it is our possession, our ownership, It cannot be violated. So in that understanding, when we have disrest or disharmony, we govern ourselves. We think for ourselves, and we lead ourselves. This applies to everything. It applies to the anomalies that we contract through emotional draw through the body. It is literally everything. When we are not consciously aware that we are able to do this, then it's always that we have expectations for external authority to save our day, to save us, when we each are the saviors of ourselves. Every one of us are. There's no excuses. As many as of us that try to come up with it or blame, there aren't any. And when we do go in with ourselves, and this is about the true journey with the God within, it's not just talking about it, it's experiencing it, each of us choosing to, not being coerced, tricked, or manipulated into it, but we embrace it. And this is what it's about. It is about perfecting you in the body. When we talk about experiencing the body, it means that you experience it to the understanding is that you are in command. It is your vessel. But see, what's happened is that we have been directed through centuries of having others do it for us or to tell us what this is and that is and to direct us. So we've atrophied on our ability to discover natural applications, natural things that cure us, that assist our bodies. Body, I'm going to give you this because this frequency that we're going to take is going to help balance this frequency that's out of control. And then it's going to smooth it out and it won't be anymore. It's just like the lapis iris that continually works on smoothing our aura and balancing our chakras. And here's a big nomer, is that when we believe, we create. It isn't about seeing to believe, because what you see is very much an illusion. So it is what we believe is what we create. And that's been twisted. What we believe, we create. So whatever it is you believe about your body, you're going to create it every single time without fail. You tell the universe, you're saying this, what you believe about your body, whether it's conscious or unconscious, the universe is going to deliver it without question. When you believe from your heart of heart, your heart-mind, and you have literally communed and are walking with your God within you, and you're communicating with your God every single day, and I will say this has nothing to do with religion at all. This is about spirituality. This is about you, all of us, embracing the spirits that we are, the higher self, the soul, the God, the pure consciousness. This is what we have been equipped with. Do you really think that pure consciousness, the source creator, would outfit us with no power to heal? Does that make any sense to any of you? And since we are perfect, we are divine perfection, as the gods that we have been created through deep eternal love. Does that make any sense? That we would not be with the power to heal ourselves. Now, of course, because of the ego mind and external authority for so long influence over the civilization, we believe the opposite. We believe we aren't able to do that, and if we believe that, so it shall be. And so it is. That's with everything. Everything is finite. Everything is engineered. Everything is in in total perfection. And when you think it's chaos, it is your perception and what you believe that creates it. That's it. So each of us choose. Someone says to you, what are you about? I'm about the journey within me. Well, what the heck is that? Are you some religious nut? No. I am discovering who and what I am. I'm discovering that I have a God within me. And that God, once I acknowledge that God, I interact and communicate with that God in peace and harmony and love and joy. This is how I choose to inhabit this body and to walk this earth. That's it. So it's what you believe. It's time for all of us, and it's our decision alone, it's no one else's, to determine. Embrace your heart mind. Once and for all, permanently. Embrace the God within you, permanently. Surrender every fear, anxiety, and stress that you could ever have and are carrying right in this now. Eliminate it. You're the only one that has that power for yourself. Nobody else does. And when you get a bunch of people praying over another, do you know what really happens? It is their intent that heals that human. And the reason it heals them is because they talk with the God, the pure consciousness is going on, and the commune has been engaged amongst all of them. Now, when the spirit is unwilling to stay in the body, then that nothing will help it stay because it has decided to leave. The spirit isn't in pain, the body is. The God isn't in pain, the body is. Once we understand that, it's a whole different perspective. You know how people say, well, they're in a better place now, they're not in pain anymore. They never were in pain. Only the body was. Be totally, unobstructively in love with yourself. And by being in love with yourself, you open up the world of the God that you are. The peace, the joy, the happiness, and you take command, and you're the master of your body. So if you will, let's go to the place where we're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. Now, a lot of us think we relax our bodies, but I can guarantee I can walk up to just about anybody and I'll say to them, drop your shoulders. Now, look at me like I'm, of course, a little bonkers. We may drop my shoulders. I just want to see how relaxed you are. And I used to do this when I was a massage therapist, when I would interview my clients. And I'd say, first of all, I would like you to sit relaxed. I want you to drop your shoulders. And every single one of them were surprised that they were stressed, tense that much that their shoulders were crunched. And I mean crunch, I don't mean hugely like up by the ears. I just mean in different variations, we crunch our shoulders because we're stressed. So we know that. So we identify with it and say, body, let's relax. It's time for us to relax. We're going to meditate now. We're going to go into the now and the space, and we're just going to be. So I'd like for you to relax, because you really could use it. And, I forgive all of the things I've brought into you, and I forgive you for causing this and that and this and that, and I forgive myself for causing it. So let's relax. Just drop the shoulders, let everything wash away. All stresses, anxieties, tensions, fears, no matter what it is you're experiencing in this very now, in this very moment, let it go, surrender it. Embrace the God that you are and the love that you are. Body will relax, and you feel it as it just lets go. Everything, head to toe, inside and out. And as you do this, we all move into the now. The now is the space between heartbeats. Really, the now is all we have. But when we start going into the future and the past, the future doesn't exist yet. But we go into something, into the future, and we wonder, and we think. And some of us will go into the past, and we'll grab the past, and we'll pull it into a future that doesn't exist, and we'll create that future from our past, and we'll relive the past in that future. So many of us get caught up, and we get seduced into that because of remembering and reminiscing, and then we say, I feel like I've been running in circles most of my life. Does that make anybody bad? No, it's a choice. But when you're consciously aware, you will not make that choice. We are moving forward. We are progressing as a civilization. We are progressing as a collective consciousness. We are becoming more and more aware. And we're becoming aware through the heart mind, not the ego, for the first time. And this adjustment is massive. It is absolutely miraculous that this civilization is experiencing this now. So we relax, all of us, as much as we can. And in the now, we still the mind. We still the ego mind. We still leave the mind alone and see what happens. Leave the mind alone. Embrace your heart, your love, the God, the consciousness. Bask in that. Bathe in that. And you will become and move, you'll become contentment. You'll become gratitude. You'll become love. You'll become peace, gentleness, and kindness. Humbleness. So as we relax the body and we move into the now, we want to breathe. Breath is so important for our bodies. It oxygenates our blood. It calms us. It brings in serenity, peace. It lowers our biological functions and puts them into balance that are out of control. Blood pressure. Everything in the body. The breath is sacred. It is powerful. It is sustenance. It is absolutely supporting our bodies. And to increase this understanding, we want to visualize our breath as divine positive energy, as all the love, all the joy, all the bliss, all the happiness, all the contentment, all the peace, all the gentleness and kindness is in that breath. And we picture that breath. We visualize it in our heart minds. And as we bring it in, we visualize it through the 7 wheels of light, the 7 chakras. And we begin by pulling that breath, that divine positive energy, through the root chakra, the red wheel of light, the Muladhara, the energy, stability, comfort, and safety, the I am. Then we move it to the orange wheel of light, sacral chakra, the Vadhisthana, the sensuality, sexuality, pleasure, sociability, the I feel. then we move it into the yellow wheel of light, the solar plexus chakra, the manipura, the strength, personality, power, determination, I do. Then we move it up to the green wheel of light, the heart chakra, the anahata, acceptance, love, compassion, sincerity, I love. And then through the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra, the vishuddha, communication, expression, creativity, inspiration, I talk. And then through the violet wheel of light, the third eye chakra, the ajna, intuition, lucidity, meditation, trust, I see. And then the purple wheel of light, the crown chakra, the sahasrara, knowledge, consciousness, fulfillment, spirituality, I understand. These are all the etherical points that connect us to the spirit and bridge to the physical. This is what creates our aura with the God within, the pure consciousness. And we take that divine positive energy and we hold it in the back of our heads. And we hold it for a brief moment. I am light, I am love, I am. And in that brief moment, we condense it and compress it into liquid, pure liquid frequency. And then we disperse it. We let it go over the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is but a little pebble. You look at it as like a rosebud. It's not really appearing to be much at all. And as you release that pure liquid frequency, that pure liquid energy over the pineal, powerful energy, it comes alive, it blooms. It's an immortal rose. All the petals are vibrant. The aroma, the scent is powerful, intoxicating, relaxing, enjoyable. And this is important to have this organ fully functioning in our bodies while we're in them, because it is the gateway to all the particles of existence. It is the gateway to pure consciousness, and it is the gateway to beyond. So this is each of our choosing to perform with ourselves this visualization. And you do it as many times. I do it all day long. I'm doing it all the time. It is but our choice on when we decide to engage with that visualization. And as we breath out, we always know that the ego mind is still trying to control and direct. And it's like it escaped from the insane asylum, and it is in charge. And we identify that, and we no longer care to have it be in charge. We give it love, we embrace it, and we walk through it. That's it. And we don't look back, and we don't wonder, because we have the confidence through the heart mind that it is no more. And we also identify with ourselves that we're consciously aware that we are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And we're one. We're one with our God, our pure consciousness. We spend all of our existence with our God. We cannot not. And the important thing is that we choose to be conscious about that. And we're one with our heart mind while in these bodies. We're all one. We have others with us the same way. Right now, we have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. They are consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. They've been with us a long time. They've been helping us a long time. And we've been helping them. They're part of us, and we're part of them. It's just that many of us think that they're separate from us, and they're not. They're just different facets, different mirror images of us. vibrate at different frequencies, so we don't see them like we see each other. They appear in humanoid form at times, or as a scent in the air, or as a feather on your bed. It just depends. And they're always communicating. And we, our God within us, is always communicating with them. We have the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Hell and Thoth, and many, many, many more. They are with us. These are beings who have ascended out of physical form into God form. This is what we do when we leave the body. So they hold pure consciousness, God form. They've been assisting us for a long time. We've been assisting them. They're consciously aware that they're the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And we're all formed here in this gathering to assist in the ascension of the civilization of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation. So, we speak out through our gods, through our pure consciousness, and we call upon all the other facets out there, all the other pieces of creation, of source creation, all the other love particles, just like us, experiencing different ways, existing different ways, all perfecting. All the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in this gathering, in this forming of the circle of light. And they come in the googleplexes. One googleplex fills this universe. They come in trillions of googleplexes from every direction. And they're all here now with all of us. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, beneath earth, Agartha. Many, many, many civilizations and species. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, this forming of the circle of light, this gathering. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, many, many, many civilizations and species. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light, this gathering. Now, they have been assisting us with our evolution, with our enlightenment, with our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We're only familiar with a fraction of them. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Zeta Reticuli, many different species of grays, Dracos, reptilians, Golden Pyramid, Avians, feline, many, many, many more. And the reality of it all, since we are all supreme reality, is that we're all part of each other. We're all the one. Now they come in the billions. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude join us in this now, in this meditation, forming of this circle of light, this gathering. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, the forming of this circle of light in this gathering. light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation, in this gathering, in the forming of the circle of light. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this gathering, in this meditation, forming of the circle of light. And they come in the trillions, and I'll just name a few of them. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trolls, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the unicorn, the pegasus, the centaur, and the minotaur. Many, many, many more. And they come in color, shapes, sizes, forms, configurations of which many we have never seen before. We're all together, arm in arm, hand in hand. We all come in and we form this brilliant, magnificent, magna-glorious circle of light. It is formed at the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. All of our gods assembled together. We are all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And we are all one. And we are all God, pure consciousness, and we are all love of it, from it. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We begin to ascend up above the planet. As we do this, the whole planet is aglow from our circle of light. All light is brought forth in all things, everything and everything. As we begin to ascend, we move ourselves into a gossamer field of trillions of magnificently brilliant lights, all reflections and glittering. It's a total, complete joy, peace, and love vibrational frequency permeating all of us, and it too becoming brilliant light. And we are met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael, the column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. Then we are met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column that reminds us of our power, that reminds us of our strength, that reminds us of our resolve. Then we come across the white fire. This column reminds us that we have an impenetrable white fire armor from head to toe, inside and out. This armor is of the highest highs of deepest eternal love and gratitude. It is what has made us. It's what all of us are made of. This fire is impenetrable. It cannot be breached from any external attempt. Any low dark matter frequencies are vaporized whenever they come in contact with this armor. Now, only us, each of us can choose. Only us have the power that if we allow ourselves to drop in the lower vibrational frequencies low enough then we will open up a breach in our white fire armor, which will allow the lower dark matter frequencies and lower survival frequencies to come flooding in. We're also met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column that reminds us that if we do that, we do choose that, either consciously or unconsciously, we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of those lower frequencies into neutral light substance, and then we can send them back to pure consciousness where they become no more. We're also met with the violet ray. This is a column that reminds us that we bring the violet ray right in behind the purple transmuting flame, purify and cleanse the area where these lower frequencies harbored themselves, restoring our vibrational frequency of pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude, reinstating our armor to full strength and illumination and light. We also are met with the golden white pink light. This is the column that reminds us of who and what we are. We are the love. We are of it and from it. We are made of it. We see this everywhere. It reminds us constantly. We see it in sunsets. We see it in sunrises. We see it in rainbows. We see it just about everywhere in different forms, different shapes and sizes. But it is there. And it reminds us that we are the love. We are of it and from it. We were created of the love, from the love. Now, some of us step outside. We're carrying physical form. We're in physical form, so we step outside the body and we elevate above the body effortlessly. As we do this, we are met with this massive column. We created this column. It is larger than this solar system. This column is opaque, and it has an aura vibration of trillions of vibrant colored prismatic lights reflecting and glowing and emitting everywhere, bathing and saturating everything, in deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude. And we look at the top of this column, and we have designed it so that the golden ocean can come flying down, cascading 360 degrees, and literally permeating the atmospheres, the space, all of us, everything, in deep eternal love and gratitude. And this golden ocean, each of us are a drop of that golden ocean, and each of us in that drop hold the essence of that golden ocean, as vast as it is, as far-reaching as it is. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. Then we look a little bit over and we see our meditative sphere. We created this sphere well over 2 years ago. This sphere holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Pure, deep, eternal love intent. Pure, deep, eternal gratitude, peace, joy, gentleness, and kindness. Generosity and humbleness. Tranquility and benevolence. And every day, millions of us send another meditation with pure intent, love, joy, gratitude. And we are lifting this entire universe, and we're concentrating on this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, as we continue to increase the vibrational frequencies into the deep eternal love and gratitude, into the highest of highest high frequencies. We're approaching close to 900 meditations sphere is so powerful. It can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. You can at any time visualize this sphere and the column and the sheer power of the deep eternal love that's flooding this solar system, this galaxy, and this universe and beyond. It's magna-glorious, it's omnipotently far-reaching, it is endless. And we see all of our brothers and sisters, whatever stage they're at, becoming literally lifted into a higher consciousness, awareness that they're conscious. Leaving behind all the last vestiges of anger and fear and hate and greed and deception and destruction. It doesn't serve the collective consciousness of the greater good. Therefore, we cast it down, we neutralize it into neutralized substance, and we send it back to the pure consciousness, and it is no more. And we are all the God, and we are all the love, and we are all the one. Feel that vibrational frequency, visualize it through the heart-mind, feel the warm wave come over you from head to toe, inside and out. This planet, by the collective consciousness, has been decreed to become a paradise, a gentle, kind, loving planet, a God planet. And we are all the heaven, and we are all the earth, and we are all of everything and everything. Join in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. easy breath in. Easy breath out. Know your God. Know your joy. Know your peace. Know your contentment. Know your bliss. Know your joy. Know your peace. Know your tranquility. Know your benevolence. Know your generosity. Know your humbleness. And be them all. Be the God that you are within. Surrender to your God and to yourself. Forgive everything. Know that you're gentle and know that you're kind. Be all of these. Love everything and everyone. Everything and everything. Practice it until it is automatic. We are all moved into 5D, and we are continually moving up and forward. Take this with you the rest of the day, into the evening and night, into the following morning. Move slow. Breathe. Enjoy the God that you are. Enjoy the love that you are. We'll return here Saturday, June 27th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call. And also, tomorrow we will be here at 6 p.m.